All right, during February, we're working on just some applications of spiritual laws. And the first Sunday, we spoke about that we are all perfect in the eyes of God. We were conceived as perfection. We are a perfect ideal, perfect thought in God consciousness. We do not have to conceive or invent ourselves. Everybody been working on that one? That's a little tough one, isn't it? I'm perfect. All right, and then last week we talked about the silence, going into the silence where we get behind and beyond those thoughts and busyness, and we can just really connect with God. So A, B, now we get to go to C. All right. Today there are two principles that I want to tie together for you, and this is about transformation. So I will say this to everyone. I wish I could convey to you the awesome aha-ness that came to my brain when I was going through the preparation that Spirit gave me. It's one of those moments where your brain goes kapang. And so I hope to give it that energy, but for you it may seem all mental, but it's not. So I want to start with this, sharing in this book by Deepak. The book is called Total Meditation by Deepak Chopra, and I'm not sure exactly. I think it's brand new, perhaps 2020, maybe. I think it was published during the pandemic. Okay, and he says a few things I want to share. Transformation. See, I am so ready. Thank you, Patrick. I can always count on Patrick. If he doesn't say it, I look at him and he says it. All right. This is a chapter on transformation in the book. And he's talking about experiences of transformation. None of these experiences happens through gradual or stepwise change. Instead, a sudden alteration turns one state into another completely different state. And no one knows what the new state will be like. So he's defining transformation as a sudden shift. Got it? Okay. Then he speaks. The real issue runs deeper. Transformation exists in nature. Consider the total change of state that occurs when two invisible combustible gases, oxygen and hydrogen. And I had to look them up. I did not know either was combustible. But apparently hydrogen is highly combustible. And if you have hydrogen and oxygen in the same room, it's like, get out now. It's not a good thing to have them in a contained space together because they will blow up. And so oxygen also feeds the combustibility and apparently in and of itself is somewhat combustible, but not anywhere near like hydrogen. So we have these two combustible gases. And it says they combine to form a liquid called water, which is so non-combustible that it puts out the fires. Now, who would have thought, if knowing the principles of the two, that combining them would create the exact opposite? Is your brain going, huh? Mine did. And when we have these seemingly contradictory elements coming together, we have to allow them to unfold without knowing what the result is going to be. Okay, here's another one. Sodium, which is an unstable metal, and chlorine, a green gas, are both deadly poisonous. I did not know that. Did you know that? Sodium and chlorine are deadly poisonous to life. However, when combined, they form table salt, which is the essence of life. So, if water did not exist, who would have predicted that putting oxygen and hydrogen together would create a non-combustible essence called water? If salt did not exist, who would predict that putting two poisonous gases together would create an essence that actually is the basis of life? Salt is the basis of life. It allows life to form. It allows our energy to move. The salt is the basis of the electromagnetic field. It's a conduit of who we are. Now, are you guys going, wow, that's pretty cool? That's cool. I love this stuff. Thank you, Deepak, for expanding my mind. So, now we take it another direction. We walk around and we are elements. We are elements. And sometimes we have experiences within ourselves that are seemingly toxic, and experiences come to us that are seemingly toxic. Bad plus bad equals badder. And that's what we're thinking. You know, this is not good for us. Bad plus bad is bad. Okay. We're talking about transformation. Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. Book 1. Oh, they want me to explain this to you first. I'm sorry. I got excited. All right. If anything happens to us, it is by right of vibration. You all should know that. If anything happens to us, it's by right of vibration. Something within us is holding a frequency that either allows it or attracts it. So here's an example. Attracting something to us. There is an active belief that attracts something to us. Here's your example. I have to prove my worth. Now, if that is an active belief within me, what am I going to attract? Challenges, problems. I have to rally to some situation that's challenging or difficult because I have to prove my worth. That is what I'm going to draw. That is an active belief that is going to attract. Here's a belief that's going to allow, okay? My active belief that allows is this. I have no power in this world. Now, what am I going to draw through that belief? I'm going to draw all manner of experiences that make me a victim, that I lose, I get abandoned, I'm a second-class citizen, I'm lonely, I lack, I'm never seen, I'm never acknowledged. I mean, the list goes on with that one. But it's not an active one that attracts, it's one that allows. Because I have this belief about me, I allow everybody in the world to have power over me, and whatever you guys want to do, I'm going to experience it. Do you see the difference? So sometimes when we're looking about why am I experiencing these situations, we actually are overlooking the fact that we're allowing it. We're not necessarily attracting it, we're allowing it because our beliefs about ourselves are not powerful enough. Go, I got that. You guys got that out there? Okay. All right. So when we have beliefs that are acting in a negative way and they're drawing to us things that diminish life, negative is something that diminishes our life force and light. You realize that? That's what we're defining as negative. So if we have a belief that draws a vibration to us, then we will have a diminishing life experience that diminishes our life. Combine the two elements in a different way through transformation, and we might have a different experience. Okay, now we're ready for Life and Teachings. You guys ready? You needed that, didn't you? Spirit was good. Spirit's good. All right. This is a technique to engage transformation quickly. So I'm going to read this. It is through the power of our own mind or thought that we are able to bring forth or realize Christic consciousness. Through the power of our process of thought, we can transmute and evolve our bodies, our outer conditions and surroundings, and recognize the Christic consciousness within. Okay, that's our prelude. You guys want to do that? Step number 1. This is done wholly through man's ability to visualize, idealize, conceive, and bring forth that which he gazes upon. We're not going to get sidetracked on that because that is like hours of discussion. We're going to go forward. This is done by first knowing or perceiving or having faith that the Christ is within ourselves, and we see the meaning of Jesus' teachings, holding our body one with God, made in the image and likeness of God, and merging that body into the perfect God body just as God sees us. And now we are back to service number 1 in February. You are the perfect concept of God, the perfect idea of God. Step number 1, allow yourself to begin to see yourself in that perfect alignment with God. Challenging, isn't it? But you can begin by saying, I want to. I want to. I am having experiences that are diminishing my life force and making me feel less than because I have beliefs within me that allow it or attract it. Does that make me any less perfect? Actually makes me a master. You know what they say, olden days, they will always say, nowhere in the universe can masters come and pretend they forget they are and have experiences that are outside of their natural perfection. Welcome to planet Earth. We are masters that come and forget so we can learn again to create. Okay, step number 1, does it sound hard? Thank you. All right. Step number 2. When we feel that oneness with God, and we do that through our meditative space, we do that through our alignment. When we feel that oneness with God, then we can go to a space called universal mind substance. Maybe a new word for everybody, universal mind substance. Then we can return all things to the universal mind substance from which they sprang and then bring them back the way God would see them. We can take all of our creations. It says you can take every false belief, every old condition, everything you call a sin, all things of your past. It does not matter what it has been, how good or bad. It does not matter the false belief or doubt or unbelief or fear. You can call it forth and say to it all, I now return you to the universal mind substance from which all things come and where all things are perfect, and from which you sprang. There to be resolved into the elements from which you were created, the oxygen and hydrogen. We're melting you down now. All these experiences, now you're back to the basis. Oxygen, hydrogen, here we go. And then I will call you forth as God sees you. I will bring you back into my world, recreated as God sees you, pure and perfect. I realize in the old order of things, I brought you forth imperfectly, and you manifested imperfectly. Realizing the truth, I now bring you forth perfect, as God sees you, and you are reborn, and so it is. How fast do you think you would transform? You know we're going to do that. I'm going to give you a little example beforehand. So, anyone who knows me knows that I have had, since the metaphysical journey, I did not experience this until I went into metaphysics. Since the metaphysical journey, I have had an issue with betrayal. Y'all know this. And I will say another betrayal, yet again another betrayal, 30 years. 30 years. And what it looks like is this. I am such a talker. My mom used to call me a magpie. I don't know what that means, but I think they talk. But I just love to talk. I love to talk. And over the years, if anyone has an interest in anything that I do, if it's feng shui, which I studied for 10 years, and I'm very good at, but if you have an interest in it and will listen to me, I will download on you. Don't ask me a question about the Bible. Please do not. You will not get out alive. I will download on you. I love just to talk and to talk and talk. And over the years, I will take people under my wing that go, oh, Cindy, I love what you know. Teach me. It's like, oh, God, come on, girl. And boys, I've had a couple of young men, too. And I would teach them and teach them and teach them. And then they would leave. And most of the time, they took half the church with them when they went. The very first seminary class that we did, 1996, graduated 3 ministers ordained. I told every one of them, please let me help you. You're great ministers. I'll go rent a place. You can have a Sunday service downtown. I'll go find a place in Dahlonega. Where do you want to start a ministry? All you have to do is do a Sunday service. You don't have to quit your job. Let's grow into this. Every single one of them said, no, I don't want to. The first one left the church within 3 weeks and took half the church with her. The second one left the church in 5 years and took half the church with her. The third one stayed and was our music minister. That was Nan. Every one of those, I'm saying, what? I had another dear friend. These are the early years. Dear friend. Loved her dearly. Taught her everything I know. I'm studying like crazy in all these classes and schools. I'm getting my seminary. I'm getting Rohan Masters. I'm degree in humanistic parapsychology. I'll teach you anything. I had a very dear friend who was a part of that program come to me and say, I am stealing everything that you taught. And I'm going to go to North Carolina and I'm going to set up my own healing center. And I went, why don't you stay here? Work with us. Let's grow InterQuest. No, I'm going to steal everything you taught me. And those were the words she used. And it has continued for 30 years in varying degrees. And it is a painful situation because Miss Magpie, I don't see it coming. I don't see it coming. I don't see it coming.
Part of the gig.
I'm telling you. It's part of the teacher. But anyway, that's what happened. When I went to God, and it happened just the other day, I thought I just don't know how long. God, why? What within me is allowing it? What within me is attracting it? I am on it. I know the laws and the principles. I've gone down there many, many times. I'm healing everything within me that's drawing and attracting it to me. Oh, my God. So I've been taking a lot to Universal Substance this past week, you guys. So this whole issue, all of the deep belief, all of the pain, I give to Universal Substance. And as I do, I give the personal relationship I have had with all of these people and events. And there have been so many. So many. And I know that I have participated and I have allowed it, and it is a miscreation on my part. I know that. And I ask to bring it back in the way God sees it. And you know what God said? Send to your teacher. I asked you to teach. You put the expectations on the people. I asked you to teach. You give them the house and the car and everything you own. And Spirit said this, every teacher knows they impart information, they bless their students, they hold a high light for their students, a high vision for their students, and they let their students go. They do not expect their students to bring them back a return. All of this time, I had put Cindy human expectations on the task that I had been given to do. And by seeing what God, through God's eyes, God said, okay, let's break down the molecules here. I asked you to teach. You're very enthusiastic. You love to talk. And then you got involved with your energy of wanting to grow a church in a certain way. And you felt betrayed because they didn't grow the church with you. That was on you. Do you see? It was a good experience. All of those elements that I did was a good experience. And how much light is out in the world? How much light is in the world over these last 30 years? Oh my God, how much light's out there? It's amazing. It's amazing. And God is working through them, and they are growing, and they're expanding, and it's fabulous. But they didn't do it. I want it. Most of our miscreations are simply that. It is a good intention on our part. It is a good energy on our part. We're investing energy. But then we start to tack onto it a humanness. And then the humans that you're dealing with, because we need each other to play these games, don't we? We need each other to play this worldly game. And then they're attaching humanness on it. And now we've got a big old, dis. So, learning to let go our creations, learning to see with the eyes of God, and to transform. Do you think after this realization of teacher, do you think I'll teach differently? No, I probably will. I won't teach with expectations. I might not keep you at the door for 5 hours if you ask me a Bible question. You know, I might be different. Bless their hearts, visitors, and this is not that long ago, before COVID, of course. Visitors would come, and if they asked anything about the church, they couldn't get out the door. I just could not stop. I couldn't stop. I'll stop now. I stop. But it gives me understanding of why I do, my mission with God, and to let God handle the expectations and the returns. Let God handle it. All right. Can I see the bulletin for a moment? In your bulletin, on the bottom, I have the Life and Teachings words that we're going to use. So you don't need to read them. I just want you to know they're there. Because I'm going to lead you through a meditation, and not go into the silence for a long time, guys. No fear. But we're going to go to the universal silence, and I will read those words while we are there. So you can take this home with you and have those words with you, and we'll, guys out in Cyberland, we'll take a picture of it and put it on the website. But it's the words in the Life and Teachings of what to do to return something to universal substance. Now, can anybody see a repeated pattern in your life? Oh, yeah. Okay. And if you don't have one, Adriana might share one of hers. Okay. It could be anything. It could be just a pattern of connection. It could be a pattern of feeling not successful. It could be any pattern. And if you don't know what you want to take to that moment, just show up. And whatever leaves you at that time is the appropriate thing. All right, are you guys willing to make this journey with me today? Yes. All right. Let's put our feet on the floor. Put your feet on the floor out there. I'm ready. I'm going to get my glasses on so I can read it correctly. All right. So we're going to breathe. Father, Mother God, we ask that everything that we now do be for the highest blessing of everyone who hears these words. Father, we're your beloved children. We have done the best we could with the beliefs we had. We know this. But God, we seek transformation. We seek transformation. Begin to see a beautiful column of light come over you and feel that you are held in a beautiful sacred space. As the light moves over you, it begins to move through you. The cells of your body start coming alive. Imagine a golden light just pouring through the entire body system. Down to your feet, out through the arc field, emotional, mental bodies, spiritual bodies, all being fed now this beautiful golden light. And let your body relax, feel the chair that holds you. Feel the presence of Jesus Christ with you. And he takes your hand. Sense, see, feel, it does not matter. And feel his energy lifting you up now. We are lifting up to a beautiful space of white golden light. And just feel yourself now standing in a cloud of golden white light. I breathe in the love of God into all that I am. I am conceived in the heart of God, perfect in his image and likeness. Our Father, Mother God, holds me as perfect. Touch the Christ's hand again. Feel a steady support. And now step forward. Step forward. And the clouds begin to part, and you begin to see a beautiful sea of substance in front of you. Just a sea of substance. Whatever color, whatever energy it takes on is perfect for this moment. This is the universal substance of divine mind, from which all things spring. Begin to feel within your body-mind construct a belief or an issue that you are ready to transform. You no longer wish to repeat a belief or an issue. I want you to see the energy coming out of your body as if it becomes a ball of light in front of you. And then the ball of light is all the memories and all the times and all the emotional issues, mental issues, situations that this belief has held. I now return you to the great ocean of universal mind substance. And see the ball of light being lifted up now, and see it going into the universal mind substance. I return you to the universal mind substance, from which all things come forth, and where all is perfection, from which you sprang. I send you there to be again resolved into the elements from which you were created. And just feel the release, feel the release. I now bring you back from that pure substance as perfect and pure as God sees you, and hold you always in that absolute perfection. And just feel the energies of what you gave into the substance being broken apart, being reformed, realigned. Atoms and cells opening up. I now realize in the old order of things that I brought you forth imperfectly, and you manifest imperfectly. Realizing the truth, I now bring you forth perfect as God sees you. You are reborn perfect, and it is so. And feel the energies now rising up out of the universal mind substance in a new form, in a new light, and not a form of limitation, just a shower of bright, illuminating energy returning to you. And as it moves into your field, it is how God sees you. It is how God saw those experiences. It is the truth and the blessings of everything you released. Let it fill you to overflowing. Whether you have understanding, words come, it does not matter. Feel the energy coming back into your being. You are light. Feel your beautiful gratitude to God, our Creator. Father, Mother God, we seek to be that beautiful light. We seek to become light. Feel the energy begin to just cover up the universal mind substance, a beautiful cloud just overtaking it as you're standing now with Jesus Christ. If you did not get a word of understanding, you will. Look in his eyes and feel his heart. Well done. Well done. You have learned. You have grown. I embrace my transformation now. I embrace the new I am. And I am ready to walk this path with greater God love. Feel Jesus just lift you up, and just feel the two of you back in the column of light. And feel how light it feels as he gently begins to bring you back into the physical body. And as your awareness comes back to the body, feel the beautiful, translucent, vibrating light moving into the cells. I am child of God. I am transformed. And I thank you. Let the energy settle physically. Feel your feet on the floor. You can breathe. Feel your body. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. How are we doing? Good. I have no words. I have no words, and I'm a magpie. It works! Oh my God! I'm transformed! Oh my gosh, that's amazing! Well, for your sake, I shall find a word. I hope you can feel and see that this exercise use, don't forget, and let yourself resettle in. Whatever you got, whatever you release, let yourself settle in. Give yourself a week. Let it just vibrate. You don't want to get the whole list going and and rattle them off. You want to let yourself find a space. You are here to be the divine child. And what most of us realize when it's all said and done, not one of us made any mistakes. We just did things with an I that was less than the eye of God. We just put that personal spin of fear on it. But we made no mistakes. We are perfect in the heart of God. We are God's perfect children. So, all right, everybody breathe. I hope you guys did good out there. Say, yay, God.
Yay, God.